Hello everybody, I'm Lindsay and this is my review of the Farnsworth Invention. And to make a long story short, Savannah was going to be my partner, but we are both extremely busy. As you can imagine, she was in the show and then I will be in Is He Dead? And I was going to film this with her either today or yesterday, but I'm pretty sure she's grounded. So she's not answering her phone and her mom's not answering either. So I just decided to make this video because it's due tomorrow and I needed to make it. So the Farnsworth Invention, I'm going to start out by talking about the acting. And I want to begin by commenting on Colin, who played Philo Farnsworth, his honesty in his portrayal of that character. And what I love about watching Colin act in anything, but particularly in the Farnsworth Invention, is just how easy he makes it look. And I think the kind of tactics he was playing and the physicality shifts that he had throughout the show really added to his character and made it so he just seemed like a normal human being that you might see on the street. And it was just so simple, but the little nuances that he put into his performance, I think, is what made it so good. As far as the ensemble work goes, I thought it was so excellent. And I loved how everyone in the ensemble, you could tell, had an objective, even though they weren't the ones giving lines. Each of them knew what they were doing in the scene and how it was important to the scene. And that really made me really happy because even though they were in the ensemble, they felt to me just as important as the people who were giving the dialogue, which I loved. And those of them that only had one or two lines, they gave those lines so well. And I really respect that. And I thought it was so great. I think the entire cast as a whole just gelled really well together. I think everyone had excellent chemistry, and the amount of humanity that everyone showcased was really great. And I thought, even though it was a realism play, there were parts of humor that I really enjoyed. And I think that's cool because they got to explore not only drama, but also dry humor as well. So I thought that was cool. To comment on the script, I was so engaged by Aaron Sorkin's writing. My mind is still blown. And to me, as I was listening to the show, it reminded me a lot of how I feel when I listen to Shakespeare, which is kind of weird, but hear me out. When I listen to Shakespeare, sometimes I don't always understand what's happening. I just think it's so beautiful that I listen and I know what's going on because the actors are doing such a good job. And I felt like that with this show, even though some of the vocabulary and sometimes the story would move so fast that I didn't really know what was going on or what they meant, but I felt like I did because the writing was so good and the acting was so good. So I think that kind of made the show for me because the writing just drew you in and you didn't know what was going to happen next, which sometimes a lot of plays, musicals, anything like that can be predictable. I felt like this show was not at all. As far as the immersive staging goes, I thought it was so cool and I felt like I was a part of the show, which was something different than I've ever felt before. I thought I'd be kind of anxious and uncomfortable throughout the show just because, I don't know, the lights didn't go down and people were acting all around me and I felt kind of exposed almost as an audience member. But I really liked it because I felt like I was in the story with them and I could choose whose side I wanted to be on. And I felt like I really connected to characters more because I was right there with them. As far as how this relates to the real world today, the thing that I came up with was ethics. And I think it's just so interesting to think about what people will do for money or for fame or for their families if they feel like it's the right thing to do, even if to the world it's not. I think people do things every day that are super selfish, and I think we need less of that in this world. I think we need people who are more sensitive to others and less sensitive to their own desires. Because Sarnoff lost some of his integrity when he sold out. Philo with his drinking problem. It's just, I don't know. The things people do that are selfish. I don't know. I just think it's different today because a lot of things are on the line, but the world would be a very different place if people thought more about what they did and how it affected other people. That is my review on the Farnsworth invention. Savannah, you missed out. Thanks.